I don't know how often I say it on the hot desk, but time really does fly, and nothing makes me feel more like that than when a full year has passed since a guest was in studio and they're back again. Phil Gaynor is the Chief Operating Officer with SolarSure. He's back in studio with me after almost exactly a year, and I'm also delighted to say he's brought an esteemed colleague in the form of Owen Tubbert, who is Electrical Manager with the company. They're both in studio, like I said. It's been an extraordinary year for SolarSure. Since we spoke in June 2024, the company in Waterford has doubled its workforce and has really expanded its commercial side of the business. The business being solar energy, of course. And lads, how are you doing?
Great, Mary. Thanks a million. Delighted to be back a year later.
A year
my
later.
God, it was fast.
God, it was a fast year and a successful year for you. So I'm delighted.
Fantastic.
We'll start with you, Phil. Like that, when I was talking to you last year, you were busy and there was lots going on. Yeah. But you had 8 staff then, and now you have 16, and I presume that doesn't include all your subcontractors as well.
Absolutely not. That's a direct team that we employ. It's been a terrific year. I mean, Waterford has embraced us. Of course, we're local, so that helps. And we've just had a terrific growth surge over the last 12 months. We had to take on new electricians, new roofing team. We took on an admin girl, Roisin. She's out there. Hello. And we've just been as busy as we can be over the last year. The commercial side of it particularly. I mean, residential is our bread and butter business, and we continue to do 2 or 3 a week anyway, which is terrific. But the commercial side have really embraced it. Literally in the last 7 or 8 commercial pitches that we've made, we've won every one of them, which I was shocked at, but delighted. Obviously, I'm particularly good at what I do. That might help. No, but seriously, it's terrific. Yeah. And it goes to show that the underlying psyche in the commercial world in Waterford are very much thinking about reducing carbon, becoming more green aware, and invariably saving a lot of money on their electricity bills. And we will come back to that, but I suppose, like I said in the introduction, SolarSure, I suppose the clue is in the title, but you are in the business of solar energy, solar PV, that kind of thing. And Owen, you know, this is very much your baby. You're very much on the practical day-to-day side of things. You know, and I have to say, and I actually said this to you a year ago, Phil, when I'm out walking now, I live in Waterford City, I'm seeing solar panels everywhere and new ones all the time. So you and your team are flat out, I'd imagine.
We are, Mary. Look, like Phil said, we're getting a lot more busy as time goes on. The general public of Waterford seem to be embracing solar in a big way. We're all busy running around pricing at the minute, trying to deliver projects. But no, it's hugely exciting times. Hugely exciting. And
I suppose this might sound like a very basic question, but if there is a household or, you know, an individual considering getting solar panels as a resident, what are some of the main benefits? I mean, I know you're going to save on electricity, but like what do people see in the long run when they go for solar?
Yeah, look, the return on investment, it seems to be after shortening, you know. Going with solar, going green, it's looking like now the smallest of systems, even adding down to 3-4 kilowatt, the return on investment is probably only about 2 to 3 years now with the systems, you know. And obviously now a lot of people are going, sending it to hot water, to getting electric vehicles. You know, there's any amounts of different possibilities for using.
What is the process then, say if I decided I wanted to get solar on my roof, from consultation to installation, how long does all that take?
We probably have a backlog of about 3 to 4 weeks at the minute, you know. So as long as a client is happy to go with us for a solar PV installation, it normally only takes about a week or so.
Okay.
We fill out what's called an NC6 application to the ESB to let the ESB know that the client are eligible for microgeneration. After that, it's a very, very straightforward process.
Do most people go for the battery or not?
Typically what happens is a contact is made via a referral through a really good customer or through somebody who's heard the ad on the radio or saw some of our board signs around the town. Typically at that point, I'll engage, go out, carry out a quick survey, and then I'll discuss their electricity bill. And what I try and do is align the number of panels, regardless of how big or small the house is. If the best place to be is their bill is X, and we align the number of panels to meet that bill for the year. So in some cases, we've taken people completely off any electricity bill for the next 30 years. So where a battery comes into play, if there's a slight shortfall, so let's assume that each panel is roughly 100 quid a year. So your bill is €1,800 and we ideally want 18 panels on your roof. It's that simple. But you can only fit 15 on your roof or 14 on your roof. So what we then, to bolt on, a complementary bolt on would be a battery or 2 batteries. And that will give you the additional €300-400 a year in saving. So 15 panels with a battery is the equivalent of about 17, 18 panels. So that's where I would very much treat each as a bespoke solution. Once the customer is very happy to go ahead, we then, as Owen said, Owen fills out the relevant paperwork, obviously fully qualified and so forth. Roisin, who's our operations colleague, will then process that application on behalf of our customer with the ESB. Once we get the NC6 back, which basically means the customer can export and get the 2021 cent that's applicable, we will literally, as quick as we can turn it around, we'll be in and on site within about a week and a half, and it'll be in and out in the same day. The lads rock up 9 in the morning, scaffold goes up where applicable, roofing is done, the electric team rock up, and then Owen, if he's not on the job, will then QC it. So we have the highest standards in terms of what we expect from our team, which invariably they're a fantastic team, and that's why I think we're doing really well in the county.
And I think, Owen, one of the things that people mightn't realise is that you're generating electricity all year round, aren't you? Like, I know obviously you'll generate more in the longer days, but you are generating it all year round. Of
course you are. Obviously, with the 4 months from November, December, January, February, it's not great, you know what I mean? But you still do have production. And that again is when the battery comes into play, because a lot of people can charge the battery on the night rate for about 10 cents a kilowatt hour and discharge that into the madness of the winter mornings then, you know, so you can use the battery to play in your favour as well.
And I mean, that's just the domestic end of it. As Phil has mentioned, you've got a huge input now in commercial activity, so your team are heavily involved in all that as well, obviously.
Yeah. All the team, we've 5 electricians. They're all industry and commercial trained. You know, they will have served their time with Sure Engineering back in the day, a Waterford company also, and we're doing very well in the commercial space, very, very well. Yeah.
And I know you alluded to this already, Phil, but you know there is the drive for Waterford to be the first county in Ireland to be carbon zero by 2040.
That's right.
Obviously, like, I mean, it's an ambitious target. There's no denying that. But you know, I'm sure you're seeing on the ground, not just SolarSure, but other green energy companies as well can see that there is a real willingness out there to make whatever changes are needed.
You know, the great thing about it is that the local council and the Waterford Chamber have big initiatives going on right now to encourage businesses to go green. And in simple terms, what that means is that, take for example solar. So a kilowatt of solar energy produces roughly 40 grams. It's about the size, if you wanted to visualise, of an average egg of carbon emissions per kilowatt. Okay, coal will produce a multiple of possibly in the region of 20 times that. So typically 40 grams from solar to produce 1 kilowatt versus 800 kilowatts from coal, or roughly 400 grams from gas. So it's an absolute no-brainer. Solar is by far the most, or one of the most, bar nuclear of course, one of the most cleanest carbon-free technologies that we can bring in. So with the I suppose with the support of the local government agencies and the chamber, companies are getting more clued in. Invariably, what the council have agreed is to reduce rates as well, commercial rates by 9%
for people who
for companies that are going green.
Measures, yeah.
So as a county, the target is, I think it's 54% by 2030, and then to be the only county in Ireland by 2040 to be carbon zero, which is terrific.
And what exactly does that mean for people who aren't kind of, you know, as au fait with green energy, or you to be carbon zero? Like, what does that mean for a county?
So I suppose what it is to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels primarily.
Yeah.
It is to go with renewable energy sources such as offshore, onshore, wind, hydro. That's the general tech that we're trying to come up with. So EVs are a big thing. Again, you're talking about direct electric, and now the electric to be produced through green initiatives. So rather than being produced by coal, it's being produced again through the natural solar or hydro. And it just reduces the carbon out of the atmosphere, and invariably makes everybody better, because there's no fumes in the atmosphere. there's no poison gases in the atmosphere, which there presently is. Like there's stats around Germany, for example. Germany have made, I think it's Berlin, diesel free for the last 5 years because there were up to 150 deaths a year from diesel fumes. So that will reduce and remove all of that. So it's only for the betterment of general society in Ireland and of course in Waterford. So we're just delighted to be on the cusp of that. You know, being a carbon neutral business and providing that green support. And please God, the most important factor here, like carbon is a big thing for a lot of people. To be able to say to people that 29% return. So what that means, and I often use the analogy, if I said to you, Mary, give me €1,000 and I'm going to give you €280 every year for the next 30 years. That's exactly what solar is right now. Going into a bank, so some of the banks, without mentioning names, are as low as 3.4% for green energy loans. So you're returning 28% on the cost of what you've installed, and it's costing you 3% to do so. So it's absolutely nuts to think why people, A, don't do it, B, get the carbon saving, helping the economy, helping the environment, but more importantly, helping their back pocket. Okay. And that's the big issue here.
We're almost out of time. Just very quickly, I suppose, to both of you. You're both very involved in Waterford business, Waterford community. I know you're involved with sponsorship with WLR, Phil.
Yeah, just a big shout out to Michelle there, obviously, who twists my arm every year to make sure that we're on board with WLR FM. A great colleague of yours. So we're very much involved. I mean, we want to be the household name in Waterford. You know, our team are Waterford based. You can tell, as we spoke before, I'm a dub, but I'm down this neck of the woods. Hello to Anne-Marie, my other half. She'd kill me if I don't say hello to her. You know, at the same time, all of the team are from Waterford. We're very much
Mount Sign man beside us there in the form of Owen. We're in the Mount Sign
man,
yeah.
Is right, man.
You might tell Mary your son is playing for the Waterford schoolboy team.
Yeah, Dylan, my son, yeah, he got selected for the primary game team this year with Scolar Con. So
excellent.
Hugely exciting, yeah. He got to play in Welsh Park in front of the Waterford Clare game at half time.
Deadly. So, I bet he loved that, did he?
He loved it, yeah, he certainly did. But I'm involved at Mount Sign all my life. And yeah, I coach up there. I have a team sister under 4 and I'm under 12 and 13. So we're after seeing them make great strides over the last few years. Brilliant. So no, look, it's all good. And even the minor hurling team gave us a big lift again the weekend.
Didn't they just?
So
it was fantastic.
And
absolutely.
fair play to WLR for all the coverage as well. Keeping people on their toes all weekend. So it was all good.
Yeah, we won't mention the Dublin Tyrone game, okay? We'll leave that one out.
but the Dublin hurlers now still have a chance in the All-Ireland after knocking Limerick out. So that's a huge achievement, isn't it?
I should have been arrested last week looking at Limerick. It was just incredible. How I didn't take a heart attack was beyond me. I didn't even believe Dublin could do it, but they were terrific.
It's great. So. I think it's great for the game as well. But look, we're moving into a different territory here and we're almost out of time. But I suppose it all speaks to the fact that SolarSure is a proud Waterford company and you're glad to be involved in the community and working with other businesses and homes all the time, of course, and helping people go greener. So it's been really lovely having you both in studio, lads. Phil Gaynor and Owen Tubritt from SolarSure. Thanks very much for coming in this evening.
It's my pleasure, Mary. Thank you.
The Hot Desk with Mary O'Neill.